I hate long intros, man. Y'all can read the title. Let's get into it. Heat Nation, that Boston loss was on me. I'm sorry. I jinxed it. I made this thumbnail before the game. I jumped the gun. I know I'm sorry, but guess what? I'm going to still use this thumbnail because I think it's pretty fire. Either way, the Heat had a strong week going 2-1. Let's get into the first game. First up, we have the incredible win versus the Memphis Grizzlies. You know I said in my last video, I didn't think we were going to win this game. Also, you probably didn't know because you probably didn't watch my last video. I mean, it has over 200 views. But half of those are mine. Half of those are probably people that I forced to watch it. But if you're one of those people from Twitter that saw my comment and watched the video, shout out to you. Leave a comment down below to let me know. I hate when YouTubers tell you to like and comment and subscribe like as soon as the video starts. Like, nah, if you don't enjoy my content, don't like the video. Wait till the end, and if you like the video, hit like. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. All I'm saying is if you do enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. I need the numbers. Appreciate it. Now let's get into the win versus Memphis. That game was incredible. You know, I thought it'd be a scheduled loss coming off a back-to-back. In Memphis, they've been balling. Ja Morant's been balling. Didn't have Bam Adebayo. Kind of expected that. But no, the Heat shocked me. They made it rain for the first time this season. They shot like 21 of 37 from three, which was incredible. This team is scary if that's the case, man. You got great things from PJ Tucker, from Markieff Morris. If you get pluses from those guys, the potential of this team is through the roof because the power forward position is something you looked at as a weakness for this team. I wanted Omer to start because, you know, we're big Yurtseven fans on this channel, but Omer will get his chance, trust me. I still love Dwayne Dedmon, so it's cool to see him get the start and play really well too. Really the only negative from this game was Max Strus. Towards the end of the game, the Heat are up big, and like I always say, I say Spoelstra, get the starters out, man. Bring in Caleb Martin. You know, he's cool. OG, UD, come on, get into the game. Gabe Vincent, you know, come in, you know. But Spoelstra leaves these guys in a little too long. If you're up 15, 17, 18 with 2-3 minutes to go, there's no need to have the starters and rotation guys in there. And because some of the guys were still in there, Max Strus was driving hard in the paint, looked like he was trying to dunk or something like that. And he came down kind of awkwardly, bent his knee. Now, I'm not a doctor, but in live motion, he didn't look like he was in a lot of pain. So I was hoping it would just be a hyperextension or a sprain, which actually was the case. He said he'd be out a few weeks, which is the greatest news we could have heard about Max Strus. So at least it seems like he will be okay. Following that, we're going to move into the incredible game versus the Dallas Mavericks. 7 of my bullet points on my notes for this game talk about Kyle Lowry. He makes this offense a well-oiled machine. Like, he's an offensive maestro. His pick and lob, his pick and roll, it's just beautiful. Especially when you got weapons like Jimmy and Bam who could really get up to throw it to. It's just really awesome to see this team running like that. It's easy for anybody to push pace after a miss, right? You get a long rebound, you know, your momentum's going the other way, you run the ball down the court. But Lowry was pushing pace after misses and makes. The Heat were down double digits early in this game, and Lowry didn't care. He still kept playing his game and pushing his pace, even after all the makes that Dallas was having. Because the Heat's three-point defense was bad. It's kind of been bad a lot this year. They gave up a lot of threes to Hardaway Jr. and Finney-Smith in the corner, which is weird for the Heat to give up so many corner threes because they're a really good switching and rotations team, so you think they'd be able to cover the corners a little better. But because of that, the Heat were down big early, but Lowry kept pushing pace, and it became contagious. Even Tyler would get a rebound. He would just zoom down the court, sprint the other way, and get a layup. It was great to see, dare I say, the Heat's big four, Lowry, Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler all score over 22 points. And yes, I'm about to say it, Tyler Hero is not in the same conversation as Luka and Trae Young. He's not. I'm sorry. He's better. Finally, we got the game versus the Boston Celtics, which just took place last night. It was a tough loss. Obviously, it wasn't very competitive, but that's what happens when Jason Tatum goes off like that. He's just really an incredible player.
He sucked last night.
What's that?
He shot 3-13.
He shot 3-13?
Yes, bro. You had 0 points going into the fourth.
0 points
That's
going
what
into
I'm
the fourth
saying,
quarter?
yes. Stop repeating me.
It's just crazy the fact that Boston won by so much with the Heat locking down Tatum. It was pretty clear the Heat had a game plan to stop Jason Tatum, and it worked really well. However, the Heat just didn't bring the energy and effort that we're used to seeing, and Boston did. That's kind of why the game, we really lost the game in the second quarter. You can see Boston's defense was smothering us, and we couldn't get nothing to go. Schroeder and Smart were diving for loose balls. They were getting all the 50-50 balls, and he just really couldn't do nothing about it. They couldn't catch passes. They couldn't get rebounds. Robert Williams was killing us. It was impressive from Boston's standpoint, and let me tell you this. There's nothing I hate more than giving the Boston Celtics credit. But here I am. I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can on this channel. We know the Celtics had a team meeting with Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart called out Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown saying they basically need to pass more. And then they had the players-only team meeting after that. And they gave up just 79 points to the Magic just the night before. And then the Celtics come into Miami and they only give up 78 points to us. So that was kind of impressive by the Boston Celtics. I'll give them that. But at the end of the day, this is just 182. You know, I ain't concerned. If this is a pattern of the Heat playing lackadaisical and not giving that much effort, then it will start to be concerning. But right now, it's not too big an issue. Something I did like to see is even when the Heat were down big in the third quarter, not only was the crowd super into it, but the bench was super into it. We saw Tyler Hero and PJ, Markieff, Dedmon. We saw all of them getting up, cheering for the team on the court. And it's just really nice to see that cohesion and camaraderie still. Because we knew that this team was friends. We knew that they got along. But anybody can get along when you're winning. You know, you really see what someone is when you're losing. So the fact that they were down big and you still saw them rooting for each other's success, to use an old Spoism. It's another use of a Spoism. But yeah, that second quarter was ugly, man. They scored 9 points and they had 10 turnovers. So you had more turnovers than points and you had no assist. That's just not something you typically see from a Heat team. But again, I'm going to just give that credit to the Celtics defense and the Heat just kind of coming in flat-footed. Because the Heat's rotations were kind of slow, and because of that, they were getting a lot of fouls. Either they were getting blown by, so they'd have to grab a Celtic before they can get into a lane, or they were late closing out, so they had to sprint to the shooter, and then they would just end up jumping into the shooter as they were pulling up for three. Really, the only thing that's most concerning about this game was Lowry. We saw at the end of the game, Duncan fell, kind of rolled Lowry's ankle when he fell into him. I mean, I'm hoping it's a situation they could just tape it up and he'll be good to go, because we're going to need Lowry for Saturday. It's against Utah, you know, widely considered one of the best teams in the league, at least according to power rankings, which I typically think are stupid, but the Heat are actually number one in some power rankings, so, you know, I kind of like them now. But we're going to need Lowry for Saturday, so hopefully he'll be good to go. Last thing I want to talk about that game is the Miami mashup jerseys. Man, what do y'all think? I'm wearing this shirt because it's like the closest thing I have to a Miami mashup. When the leaks got out, I didn't like the jerseys, but then I saw, you know, the official release on the players, and I said, you know what, it looks good. But when I was watching the game last night, I felt because the jerseys were all black and the paint was all black, they kind of blended in too much when they were running past the paint. I don't know if the two people watching this video felt the same thing as me. But again, you know, if you did, leave a comment down below. You know, I'm trying to get that YouTube algorithm kicking. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about the 3 games that took place last week. For the new people here, I'm going to try to do these videos every Friday or Saturday and talk about all the games that happened between this video and the next one. Now that the video is done, if you did enjoy this content, hit that like button. Please hit subscribe. Even if you think you're subscribed, make sure you are, because I need that 1,000 subscribers to apply to the YouTube partnership program, especially if I know you in real life, which is probably the only people watching this channel. Please hit the sub button, because it will be easier to get y'all than some random person from Twitter. But again, if you are that random person from Twitter, I love you too. You know, let me know in the comments, you know, where you found my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. So yeah, I just gave that big spiel about, you know, how important it is to follow the channel. But the reality is, you may never see me again. We'll find out next week, or you don't. See you later, or not. Bye.